and welcome to the Technical University of Munich's MOOC on academic writing. My name is Aparna Bhar and today I'm going to talk to you about hedging. You learned about register in the previous lesson and how important it is to use appropriate register in order to establish credibility with your audience. I'm going to look at a further aspect of credibility called hedging. So let's get started. Here's an overview of our lesson today. First, we shall go through a text sample and answer some related questions. Then we will turn to tone in academic writing. After that, we'll look at language we can use to modify our tone. And finally, it'll be your turn to practice modifying tone. So now I would like you to pause the video and go through the text excerpt, paying particular attention to the words in bold. Take a couple of minutes and answer the questions related to the author's tone below, 1 being least certain and 10 being more certain. You can pause the video now. Are the statements the author makes 100% true? Most of you will agree with me that the answer to that last question is no. You may even say the author sounds arrogant. This leads us to the important role that tone plays in academic writing. Let's compare the two sentences below. Which is more suitable for academic writing? Again, most of you will agree with me that sentence 2 is more appropriate for academic writing. Sentence 1 is bordering on controversial in comparison, as researchers from other areas can object saying AI is definitely not as important as our research. This is where hedging language comes in. Like many people grow hedges around their gardens to protect their privacy, as an academic, it is important to protect your credibility by building language hedges. Let's look at some examples. First, we have modal verbs like can and may. Verbs like to appear and to seem can also be used. Adding words like probable and possible works. You can also use approximations like frequently or rarely, depending on what you mean. In some cases, you can also use if clauses. Pause the video and take a minute or two to go through these examples. So now it's your turn. Here's a categorical statement. Image-guided surgery is more precise than traditional surgery. Pause the video and hedge the sentence using the categories below. First, modal verb. Second, seems to. Third, possibly. And finally, often. Welcome back. You can now tally your answers with these. Finally, I would like to talk about stance or the degree of certainty. As you might have noticed in the previous exercise, depending on the type of hedge you use, the meaning of the sentence changes. Replacing can with may affects the degree of certainty. Stance is how certain you as an author are about the claims you make. Here's an exercise with 4 sentences. Pause the video and arrange them in decreasing order of the author's certainty towards the claim. Welcome back. Here are the answers. In sentence 1, here, the author seems very, very certain. In sentence 2, the author is still certain but not to the same extent. The third sentence shows the author's tentative stance. And in the fourth, the author passes the ownership of the claim to someone else with the use of the word allegedly. In conclusion, even though it is extremely important to hedge to make your work more credible to others, you always have the possibility to show your stance with the hedging language you use. Thank you for your attention and see you soon again.